Welcome to Perspectives, our series on thought experiments. In this series, we present provocative and unsettling narratives that challenge mainstream ideology and explore hidden truths. Nothing here is to be considered the only current reality. At Beyond Elemental, we simply aim to present information available in the ether in an organized manner and speculate the narrative. It is up to you to determine your truth. With that, enjoy.
Well, hello, and thank you for stopping by for another cast presented by Beyond Elemental. My name is Tina, and I'm your host for this sesh titled Commentary 13, Phone Home. And I'm going to presume that even if you have not seen the movie, you get the reference with the title. But we're going to be taking a fringe perspective today, and I've been thinking about how best to present this with objectivity. As here in the United States, we have just had a remembrance, and the subject remains ripe for debate 20 years later. And the goal of Beyond Elemental is to provide information and provoke thought. Have you step back, view the information dispassionately for just a moment. Use your senses, use logic. And regardless of your political or religious stance, you have to have moments over these last 2 years when your entire being is telling you something's just not right about all these current happenings in our world. Right? You have heard that this is a battle of the unseen, and that is a truth. We are in a gender war that has been in play for 6,000 plus years, and before y'all go crazy in the comments suggesting this is a fallacy, understand the reference is to the energies. Feminine and masculine, black and white. The feminine is the creation energy, the architect, the goddess creation. Masculine is the Spock, the builder. Think about the Big Bang Theory that we've been taught. And when they say it's a man's world, yeah, man, we are so off balance. Now we do have the comments open. You know we prefer the discussions and debates on our free forum. Please do remain respectful, as we have that warning in our face every time we jump into our studio, and we don't want to have to censor anyone here the way that we are censored, right? So your assistance in this is much appreciated. As always, we do invite you to join us over there in our Be Private community at Patreon. There's memberships with exclusive ad-free videos. It starts at $5 a month, get you access to live streams, exclusive patron-only chats. Don't forget about those giveaways. And there are options with additional benefits as well. You can check out the link in the description. And with that, here we go. All right, phone home, right? If you're not familiar with that, that comes from a movie, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Now, I have a whole discussion on extraterrestrial, but that is for another cast. This is about the CGI, right? Because that's what you see here. I mean, we don't think that there was a boy on his bike with an alien in the basket flying through the air in front of the moon, right? We look at this and we believe it to be CGI. Well, that's cool. And, there's so much that can be done with CGI. And they say that what we hear, normal people, if you will, have as far as technologies is 40 to 50 to 75 years behind any technologies that the military might have. And it's really been advanced because if you look at this video, this is really cool. It's only 2 minutes. I'm going to show it, right? It's posted March 25th, 2019, has well over 1 million views, but I believe that this actually occurred in 2017. Thought I saw that somewhere, but I don't see it here. Either way, the link will be in the description, but I want to go ahead and play this. As you can see, it is SK Telecom uses 5G AR to bring fire-breathing dragon to baseball park, and it's really cool. Check this out. All right, pretty cool, right? I mean, I'm a geek, but still. But did an RA dragon fly over a baseball stadium? Some viewers may be a little confused about what this video does and doesn't show. Now, of course, this is Snopes. Whatever your opinion is on this website, I'm only providing information, right? The claim is a video shows an augmented reality or AR dragon flying over a baseball stadium. Now, it's stated to be mostly true here, right? They say what is true is that sports fans were able to see a large fire-breathing dragon flying over a baseball stadium via their telephones, TV screens, and the team's large LED scoreboard, right? What's false is this computer-generated dragon was not visible to the naked eye. I don't know. If we go back to that remembrance we had 20 years ago, the people are still debating. There's a lot of people that are saying it was a false flag operation. Okay? Now, this isn't here to prove or disprove. It's giving you references so that you can come to your own conclusion, right? But there are 5 confirmed false flag operations, okay? I'm just going to read what they are. If you're more interested, you can research them, okay? But we have Operation Gladio, Operation Ajax, the Lavon affair, COINTELPRO, the Gulf of Tonkin. And they go on to provide warning signs, but they do reference that a false flag operation it's something that's put forward to gain a desired result. And they say the most striking example of this is the Patriot Act, which was written well before the situation had occurred 20 years ago, but seemed to correlate entirely with the events that had transpired. So that's where they're saying that they plan to do this, and this is a false flag event, so that they could get this Patriot Act passed, because at that time in the United States, there was no way you were going to get the majority of U.S. citizens to agree to the type of overreach that is in that document. Okay? Now, to stay on the CGI theory, there's many that are claiming that the planes were not real, right? Where did you see them? You saw them on the television, right? And I've showed you that a fire-breathing dragon could be seen on screen. They've told you that they can do it so that you can see it on your phones, right? So the idea is that perhaps there was a flying object that could explode upon impact that was wrapped in a plain CGI. Hey, I'm just a geek looking at stuff that I find interesting, right? YouTube, this is for entertainment purposes only, okay? But if you search anywhere, you will see lots of this, people claiming that CGI was used, and that's 20 years ago, right? Now, they also claim that this, in fact, was a ritual. And as you can see, the term I put into DuckDuckGo and what it brings up. Now, I'm not going to go into all of these. The type of ritual that they claiming that it was is something that's for another cast, right? But if you take the idea that they took two and put it into one, okay, and that if you look at it for what it is and as it stands now, it is an obelisk. Now, you can research what that means in the occultist world, but those are all over the world. Okay? Now, whether or not that was a type of ritual that they were saying, that's for you to determine on your own. What I wanted to point out is that coming up to this remembrance date, you kept seeing a reference to the number 11, because they never want you to forget. When you go back to that time and that fear frequency arises again, there's energy that can be manipulated. I know it sounds fringy, but Beyond Elemental works with energies. We teach you to work with the energies and have an understanding of what it is. And then you can look at these things from a completely different perspective, right? The point of this is up to that remembrance a few days ago, it was everywhere. That number was everywhere. And it is so bad these days that the propagandist AI don't even bother to tweak the headlines anymore. Maybe they'll change the name, and they do rotate the picture. But it's the same thing over and over and over, and it's presented in social media so that when you're scrolling through, subconsciously you're seeing this. And whether or not you decide to partake in any of the remembrance activities, you are still seeing this number everywhere, and you are remembered. You remember it, right? That's the goal. And they say the goal of the thing that occurred 20 years ago was about getting this Patriot Act passed, right? And the fact that it was so, and it is, so overreaching in what the federal government or those that govern can do that there was no way at that time the US citizens would have allowed this. However, in all of the fear, everybody wanted protection, right? Think about it. Everybody says, oh, let's go back to the day after. We were all so united. We were united in fear and trauma, which allowed them to pass this thing in October of 2001, October 26th, just barely 1 month over or after the incident occurred, right? And this is an actual document. It's at congress.gov. Link will be in the description. But when I was looking for this document, what I thought interesting was I kept seeing this date. Now, I can't find it again, but luckily I still have the document here, right? And when I took that date and I put it up there in the control find, there's 131 incidences of this, but you can't see it unless you highlight. Look at this, right there. So let me go ahead and copy it. I'll go back up to our control find up here, right? Because I'll clear this. I want you to see, right? So I copied and pasted that. And there it is. It's VERDATE, which leads me to think that it's a version date, which means it's been revised, which means that this was created prior to this date of May 11th, 2000. Is it a reach? I don't know, but why is that there? And the link is in the description. You can pull up this document and you can see it for yourself. Why would this have May 11th, 2000 as potentially a version date of a document that was claimed to have been created after an event and put into law just over 30 days later? That's just, come on. Think logically. Put aside your emotions of the incident at the moment and think about this, right? Because this comes into play now as we have just left a place that we were at for 20 years trying to resolve the situation that caused us to even have this Remembrance Day, right? There's lots of it. They're claiming that this plane that was there and was a piece that was shown all over, people hanging off of it, they're claiming that's CGI. Right? So this, and I do apologize if you're not watching the video. For some of these things that we present, you just need to see the videos, right? And again, YouTube, this is entertainment purposes only. Although it's not entertaining at all. But they're saying that the ultimate in CGI fake persona stagecraft, the Kabul airport, skullduggery, PSYOP, and the 2018 YouTube HQ shooting. Anyways, they put in a lot of this. What I wanted to point out was they are claiming that this plane was in fact CGI. Some say that it was a balloon, right? But you know, they point out that the windows are black. They point out that there's no engines. They point out that, you know, where the wings would be, it's not really like riveted. They're just claiming it's not real. And if you watch the video and they have them running by, why aren't they sucked up in those engines? That's from an aviation geek perspective, right? And there was one young man that was running along and threw up his hands almost like in a celebratory, like they were glad that we were leaving, or he was glad to be part of the show. I don't know. I'm just saying. And you're saying, yeah, what's the point? What are you talking? What's this have to do with phone home? I get it. I'll bring it back around here, right? Because Aunt Rona has been visiting now for almost 2 years, and now they are trying to mandate a drink that they say that everyone should have to quote unquote protect you. The problem is there's way more pushback than I think they anticipated, right? Way more pushback than I think they anticipated. So the question that this is leading to is, what would be the next big thing that they could do that would quote unquote unite us in fear so that they could regain the control? Well, hey, maybe it's a fake alien invasion, right? Think about the fire-breathing dragon. Think about the potential of anything that may be up in the atmosphere that could be utilized as a projection screen. Just think about the potential technology advanced from what we have right now, 75 years. It's probably even hard to fathom, right? But the suggestion is that that might be the next big thing. Now, from a religious perspective, many that read this book, follow this book, believe in this book that you see here on the screen, are very adamant about the fact that we are in what they call the end days, or the book of Revelations. I'm not necessarily going to dispute that, but I think if you took the time at all to listen to Brother Sanchez and her story to his story, would give you an idea and something to think about as to what this book is and what it may represent. Okay? Beyond Elemental looks at this as the balancing of the energies, right? People always say, that's dark, that's evil, man, black magic. They want you to be afraid of the dark, and yet everything is born out of the darkness. You cannot have light without the dark. The feminine is the creation, just as I stated earlier. The masculine is the spark, right? It's synergy. They work together, and when they are balanced, we are good. But we have not been balanced for a long time. Not at all. I'm just going to leave with this, right? This has been around for a minute and it changes, but it is that picture, the meme of the aliens, and it says, "We're up next." I'm nervous, and I'm only presenting this with the idea of, think about it, right? Think about what you might see in the sky. Now, who would they present? Would they present aliens, or would they present someone from that other book, The Second Coming? Beyond Elemental is here to help you understand that these energies should be balanced, and that second coming is your own realization that you are the creator of your own reality. We should not be allowing others to let us live in fear. That drains us. They capture that energy and they work with it. And I know that sounds really fringe, but it's not. Just some things to think about, and keep your eye on the sky. With that, peace out.